What's going on, y'all? It's your boy TJ back with another video. Today's video, I'll be discussing whether tune-up fights are necessary. Now, without further ado, y'all, like I always say, y'all, I'm gonna just jump right into this one. Okay, so are tune-up fights necessary? Okay, now for those of y'all who don't really know what a tune-up fight is, a tune-up fight is a fight that normally the top A-list fighters usually take, and it's usually an opponent that is not of their caliber. So it's an opponent that they know 9 times out of 10 that they're going to end up beating most of the time. Okay, and it's really a fight to just, pretty much knock off the cobwebs and prepare yourself for a better upcoming fight down the line. Okay, and to really, just tune up your skills a little bit, knock the rust off and things like that. Hence, the phrase tune up fight. And like I said, majority of the fighters that take this are the top ranked fighters that normally do this. Okay, so they're going to take somebody a bit, lower of their caliber to help them pretty much, prepare themselves for that more anticipated fight. Okay, so the whole thing is, in my opinion, is okay. Is it necessary to have these type of fights in boxing? Now, in my opinion, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to also say no. Okay, I'm kind of 50-50, 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of this. Now, the reason why I say yes is because, for one, it's a really good way for that fighter to really help build momentum for that next upcoming fight down the line that's more anticipated. Okay, especially if they haven't really fought that much throughout the year, it helps prep them a little bit. Okay, for example, okay, let's take Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, on Tank's side, it's a very, very great thing that he's been doing this. Okay, he had his so-called tune-up fight is going to be in a few days versus Hector Garcia, leading up to his next fight versus Ryan Garcia in April. Okay, now let's take Gervonta Tank Davis for example. He fought Rolly a couple months ago and he beat him. Okay, now he hasn't fought since then in I'd say about 3-4 months. Okay, about 3 to 4 months, maybe even 5. So now that's a pretty big span from his last fight all the way up until April. So he took the Hector Garcia fight, which would be his tune-up fight before Ryan Garcia in April. Okay, now here's the thing. Okay, the reason why this is so good for Tank to do is because now this is going to help him prepare for the Ryan Garcia fight. Okay, now he's not so lackadaisical going into that fight and assuming that he wins the fight. It's going to help him build that momentum going into that fight even more. So now he's going to be 10 times more prepared and more ready for it. Now, if you look at Ryan Garcia, for example, his last fight was in July versus Javier Fortuna. He won that fight, which was good for him. But at the same time, that's a long ass period of time from July all the way up until April of next year for you not to have fought anybody. Okay, now he actually was supposed to have a tune-up fight the same week as Tank, or I think even, the week after that. And he was supposed to have it, and he said, nah, forget about it, I'm not going to do it. Now, Oscar De La Hoya had came out and said, I think that's a bad idea for him to not take that tune-up fight and not to do that. But, he's not the one running his career and calling the shots. Now, I think it's a bad idea on his part too. Okay, especially going into a fight that's very highly anticipated, and especially you're about to fight one of the best fighters right about now. Especially knowing what he's about and how he fights too. Like, Tank ain't no joke. Tank is no joke. Okay, I would take every preparation, every practice, every tune-up fight that you could possibly get before you fight Tank. Like, that's the type of preparation and type of mindset that you need to have, no matter what fighter you are, who you are, that's gonna fight Tank, like, for real. But he decided to not take it for whatever reason. He feels like he's more ready and prepared for it. But like I said, y'all, that's a long ass period of time from July all the way to April next year for you to have not fought anyone. That's the reason why I do feel like tune-up fights are necessary. Not to mention, okay, secondly, when you look at tune-up fights, it helps your record out a lot. Especially, if you're going to fight somebody that is not of your caliber or isn't as a great a fighter as you are, and you can beat them, why not take the fight anyways? I mean, regardless, you're going to get some bread out of it. You're going to get a W, you know what I'm saying? You might as well just take the fight and help, rack up some W's on your record. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be real. All the great fighters, they didn't fight. Not every single one of their fights was against somebody great all of the time. All of the time. You know what I'm saying? They maybe had a couple that, were okay fighters or whatever. Oh, I want to get a shot at him, and they destroyed him. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, on the other side of things, where you could say that tune-up fights are not necessary, okay? Now, I heard the other day, Earl Spence Jr. had came out and said, I'm not taking no tune-up fights. Tune-up fights are not necessary because all my fans want to see me take on the best and only the best. I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. But here's the thing, okay? Now, like I said before, your record is just a little bit more at jeopardy. Okay, now I'm not saying that, him or anyone else can't, destroy or beat all the best fighters. But if you fighting, a guy that's the same caliber as you are, or if not, maybe better on that night, and you lose the fight, now you took a loss on your record. You know what I'm saying? Now you're putting yourself at a little bit more at jeopardy. Now, I'm not saying that you gotta always take low-risk fights. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that, these guys that take the tune-up fights should not take those fighters serious, because you can lose on any given night. It doesn't matter, who you fight. You can just be the better fighter that night and just get a W. You know what I'm saying? Just take all fights serious. But like I had said, now you're putting your record at a little bit more at stake. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be real, you fighting an underdog, they ain't got nothing to lose. So they obviously, gonna go hard at you. You know what I'm saying? And they should go hard all the time. So that's just my whole, spiel on it though. But, I think in a way, tune-up fights are a little bit more necessary than people think they are, in my opinion. Okay, like I feel that what Tank is doing right now for his career to take this fight versus Hector Garcia is something very good for him, especially going up against Ryan Garcia a few months later on. Okay, like I said, now looking at it, Ryan Garcia has got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Okay, and not to mention they just agreed to fight each other not too long ago. So I mean, like, whether he was preparing himself or not, I mean, that's really up all on him. But I feel like looking at it, Tank is going to be the more prepared fighter. You know what I'm saying? Down the line. I mean, it is what it is. You know, so I mean, that's just my whole thing. And also, you know, to piggyback off of what Errol Spence was saying, is that, you know, taking, you know, the low risk fighters isn't always, you know, necessarily a good thing. Because, I mean, if you know where your skills lie and you know you're going to go into this fight and just destroy this guy, nobody really wants to watch that type of fight because they already know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing on it. I would love for y'all to leave your comments below on what y'all think about these tune-up fights and things like that. And that's really all I got for today, y'all. All right, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.